Hey guys, I thought I'd make another video to help you out with this new tangent ratio that we've been working with. And, we did a little discovery in class today. I won't go through that part. Let's just use the tangent in the way that you need to use it. If I have time, I'll make another video showing the sort of the origin of it. But for right now, let's just look at what it's used for and try to apply it. If you have a right triangle, could be any right triangle. It doesn't have to be, special. It doesn't have to be 45-45 or 30-60. It's just any old right triangle. If you focus your attention on angle A, then we can say that the tangent of angle A is equal to the leg opposite angle A divided by the leg adjacent to angle A. So what do I mean by opposite and adjacent? Well, it's just what it sounds like. If this is angle A, then the leg opposite is the one that it's across from. There's your opposite leg. The adjacent leg, well, that's the one that it's right next to. Adjacent means like next to. So here is the adjacent leg. Why don't I use AB? Well, I could use AB if I asked for the hypotenuse, but I was only looking for the legs for this particular ratio. Okay, so if we put values in here, whatever, we'll just make stuff up. How about 5, 12, and 13? Pick something simple to start. Well, then this tan A becomes the side opposite, the opposite leg, which is 5, divided by the adjacent leg, which is 12. I didn't use 13 because that's the hypotenuse, and in my ratio, it doesn't ask for the hypotenuse. And then sometimes it'll ask you to put this in the calculator and, get whatever that is. 5 divided by 12. And it's 0.4166, whatever, and it just keeps going. Okay, so that's no big deal. That's tangent of A. What if, I'll draw it again so I don't confuse you. Let me draw another triangle, basically the same thing. In fact, I'll even use the same numbers. 5, 12, 13. It's a right triangle, ABC. But this time I asked you for the tan of angle B. Alright, so from the perspective of angle B, which leg would you consider opposite? Well, I hope you said 12 because that's the leg that's opposite for B. Divided by the adjacent leg for B, well, again, that's going to be the 5 here, not the 13, because again, even though that's technically adjacent, it's not a leg. And then you put this in the calculator. I think that one works out nicely, 2.4. So there are different values of your ratio, but they're found using the same technique. Opposite over adjacent, based on what angle you're using. And that's the fundamental idea behind setting up a tangent ratio. Okay, now let me show you how we did it with the calculator, because I think some people are mixing these ideas up. So suppose I give you a right triangle, but this time I give you an angle measure. How about 27 degrees? And here's your A, here's your B, here's your C. And this time, instead of actually giving you all the side lengths, I'm only going to give you this one, 10. And I'm going to call that X. Well, up until what we learned today, there was no chance of solving this. Okay, we can't use Pythagorean theorem because I only know one side. We can't use any special right triangle tricks because I don't have a 30-60 or a 45-45. So yeah, that's close to 30, but it's not going to work out perfect. This is not going to be, something radical 3 or divide by radical 3 or whatever we did there. Okay, so I have to use my new idea of tangent. So the tangent, might as well use the angle that's there. I technically could use this angle if I figured that one out, but there's no need at this point. This is the angle I'm going to use. So tangent of A equals opposite divided by adjacent. Sometimes it helps, especially in the beginning as you're still learning, maybe just label each time. Just label them so you know what's what. This way, as soon as you can see what piece goes where, it makes it a little easier to fill it in when you set up your ratio. Alright, well, A we know is 27 degrees. So the tan of 27 degrees equals X over 10. And here's the part where you get to use the calculator. Notice over here, when I use the calculator, my answer was 2.4. My answer was 0.4166. My answer was not the tangent of 2.4. It was not the tangent of 0.4166. Okay? When you use the tangent, you're using it for an angle. Okay, and we have the angle here. We did not have the angle over here. If I knew this angle, I could put that in the calculator and then I can see that it would match this. But I don't yet, so let's go to this one. Tan 27. Alright, you're home. You're obviously watching on the computer, so one way or the other you should be able to get this. Even if you don't have a fancy calculator, right? If you do, great. Just literally hit tangent 27 degrees, 27, hit enter, and there you go. 0.5, 0.5095 equals, right? 0.5095. We usually go to 4 places when we do these. That's going to equal x over 10. Okay? Now let's say you don't have one of these calculators. That's okay. You got a phone, right? Okay, whatever kind of phone you have, or if it's a smartphone, it should have this. If you go to your calculator, even if you know, whatever phone you have, it doesn't matter. If you turn it, I did that ahead of time. If you turn it sideways, it should give you some more options, and check it out. There's your tan button. So 27, tan. And there's the same number. Now, some calculators you might have to hit the tan first. If it shows you, you know, what you're typing, it might let you do that. Okay, let's say you don't have that. Well, you're obviously watching this video somewhere, probably on a computer. So go up to Google and literally type in tan 27 degrees. Oh, I put it up top. It's hard to see. Here, let me move it down for you. This is what happened. It just moved it to the top. So tan 27 degrees. Enter. Oh. Right? Check it out. There you go. So one way or the other, we're going to get it. You just have to try. Okay? So that takes care of finding the tangent. Now let's actually solve the problem. Okay? My recommendation at this point, and I know some of you already know what to do, but for those of you that are still kind of struggling, still trying to figure it out, here's my recommendation. Put this over 1 and play it safe and cross multiply. You are guaranteed to get the algebra correct if you do it this way. Some of you try to guess, oh, am I going to multiply? Am I going to divide? You know, do I divide by tan? Do I multiply by tan? Do I always put this number on top? Do I put that number on top? If you fall into that trap, at some point you're going to mess it up. But if you set it up this way, you will never make that mistake because it's telling you in the cross multiplication exactly what to multiply and what to end up maybe dividing. 10 times 0.5095 equals x times 1. So let the calculator do this, although actually you don't really need to because it's just 10. Just basically move that over, right? 5.095 equals x. Oops. Cut that off a little bit there. Again, if you didn't see that, that's okay. Just literally take that number, multiply by 10, and you'll see. Okay? And now you just solved for a missing side of a right triangle that's not special, knowing only one side and the angle. Okay? Alright, hopefully that's enough to remind you of what we did today. I've got to go pick up Gabby from gymnastics, and when I get back, if you need me to make anything else, I'll make another video, and hopefully that helps. Okay? Post any questions on Edmodo, and I will talk to you guys later. See ya.